2. Testing 1, 2. Testing, testing. And holy crap, that's loud. Testing, testing. Trying that again. All right, one more time. Testing, testing. Alright guys, welcome back. Sorry for the testing live on the stream. I have to go through a different recording setup here, which makes testing my audio before the stream a little difficult. I have to actually preview it from my phone and then test the audio that way with this specific setup. So yeah, apologize for that guys, but welcome to the stream. We've got ourselves, let me power cycle this thing, the Atari Flashback 2. And big shout outs to Leo Ames out there in the chat who actually suggested this. What we've been doing these last couple of months is doing some mini console streams. We did the TurboGrafx 16 mini, we did the Sega Genesis mini. We've also done some other variety streams, and Leo thought that doing maybe one of these old flashback units would be fun. And I was like, yeah, that would be fun. I have the Flashback 2. This is obviously the second in the line of the Atari Flashback series. This was an old plug-and-play series that is actually still going today. The latest models use HDMI, and if Leo is correct, I think Leo told me that the latest versions use the software emulator Stella, which is an excellent Atari 2600 emulator. But this one was significant for a couple of reasons. For one, it actually uses a Atari on a chip, basically a recreation of the 2600's TIA chip, and it was created by Legacy Engineering. And yeah, it's basically what it does is it's basically recreated the 2600 about as faithfully as you can. And what's even cooler about this specific unit is that you can crack it open, and it even has solder points on the main board where you can actually take a cartridge slot from an original Atari 2600 and basically solder it in, and you've got yourself a fully functional, mostly fully functional Atari 2600 cartridges and everything. Apparently there's compatibility issues with the latest homebrew games if you do go the cartridge route with this little unit, but all the games, if not most of the games, from back in the day will work with that mod. It's really cool. So this is a pretty neat unit. Not as fleshed out these days in terms of games library, but it does have 40 games on it, a mixture of games from released back in the day. Don't mind me, I can't talk right now. It's been a long day. I've worked all day. I'm doing this stream right after getting off work. So yeah, a little tired, but yeah, it's got 40 games on it with a mix of homebrew and original titles from back in the day. As well as some ROM hacks apparently. So it's got a lot of familiar games on it, but also some new stuff that isn't terribly common. So yeah, we're gonna mess around with this today. The Atari Flashback 2 is composite only. So we've got this running into my XRGB 2 Plus, which does take composite, and then that converts it over to VGA, which I run into my data path capture card. So that's how we're capturing this. Normally I would go through my FrameMeister, but every time you switch into a game, the signal actually gets dropped. So as you can see right there, just going into this menu dropped the signal. And if I do that too much with my FrameMeister running into my Elgato card, the card will just lock up completely. So yeah, we're going through a different setup here. So the image might not be the most stable as a result. But yeah, this is the Atari Flashback 2. Should be a fun stream. So I've actually been wanting to do an Atari 2600 stream for a while now, and I have an actual 2600, but it's got the same issue where I have my flash card will switch resolutions over and over, so I can't run it through my FrameMeister. Although I could technically run it through my XRJB2. Maybe we'll just do that in the future. But I had also thought about doing a 2600 stream just from my emulation PC, where I've got Stella on there and everything will look razor sharp. But I wanted to get a specific game lineup for that before doing that type of stream, but haven't gotten around to it yet. What I am actually using right now too is, you guys can't really see it, but I am using a cigar box joystick that I bought from a fellow member on Atari Age several years ago. And so it actually works with this plug and play unit. It's got actual, the actual controller ports on it, so you can use wired joysticks that come with it. The wired joysticks are really nice on this unit, by the way. But you can use other accessories as well, including paddle controllers, which aren't included, but they do work on this thing, as well as like what I've got, a custom made joystick. So you're gonna hear lots of clicking and whatnot. If you decide to get into the golden age era of games, the Atari 2600 in particular, I do highly recommend a custom controller of some kind, because the CX40 but the CX40 sticks that are commonly used on the 2600, they're not that comfortable. And so, it wasn't really a problem for me when I was younger, but my hands are sore, they're aging. And so using that joystick just doesn't do it for me anymore. It's very difficult and uncomfortable to use, but having an actual, cool arcade setup works so much better for me. It's a lot more comfortable. It's also a little more accurate. So when I want to go left, I actually go left instead of, say, diagonally up and left, or I don't have to force the stick over super hard like I might on an old worn CX40. But this is a Atari 2600 plug and play. So man, the question is, what do I play first? Actually, what I wanted to do is actually give a shout out to some of the patrons. We actually had some donations last week. And I shouted them out on the Thursday stream last week, but I always like to give them a shout out at least a week ahead. So let's go ahead and do that. So thanks everyone that is continuing to support my channel via places like Patreon and whatnot. If anyone's interested in getting my Let's Plays early, links are in the description box below. But huge shout outs to T-Bone Saxman, Will Haynes, and Jeff Smith, who did super chat donations on last Wednesday's stream. So thanks a lot, guys, for that. Really, really appreciate it. Helps me out a ton. So, but thanks, guys, for that. And but alrighty, so let's see who we've got here in chat too. We got Dasan. What's going on, man? And of course, Leo. This was Leo's suggestion. I sent him a message on Atari Age earlier saying, "Hey, this is when I'm going live." And he was like, "Hey, I'll be there." And we got Stexor, James, Will, and I guess that's it right now. I've never actually done anything, Golden Age era on my channel before, at least not in the current day where I do Let's Plays and things like that. I did do a homebrew 8 years ago, and I probably did a couple of casual reviews back in the day when I shot my camcorder at the TV, but I've deleted those. I don't have anything anymore. So, but as far as a live stream's concerned, this is my first, Golden Age era system that we're covering. So, should be fun. Now, for those of you guys that aren't used to this sort of thing, a lot of the games are going to be silent, or the music's going to be very repetitious. The game's going to be very simple as well. So we're going to bounce from game to game pretty quickly. There are difficulty settings in most of these games, so you can crank the difficulty up or implement different gameplay modes. Space Invaders isn't on here as far as I'm aware, but a good example is Space Invaders in the 2600, where one of the difficulties makes the enemies become invisible, things like that, or they shoot way more, or they flash on and then they flash invisible, and then they flash back on, flash invisible, things like that. So there are a lot of little ways to mix up the games in these games. So hey Kevin, man, what's going on, dude? Haven't seen you in a little while. And James, yes, this is something that James really, really wants to see, because he's a big 2600 fan. I also wanted to let you guys know that the top of the screen is cropped, but that's because I set the crop for adventure, and So that crop should fix itself once we get into a game. So, but yeah, I just want to give you guys a heads up about that. Leo says that, yeah, the HD versions of the Flashback 9 in 2018 and last fall's Flashback 10 are powered by Stella. Okay. And you can actually load up your own ROMs on those ones, right, Leo? Doesn't it have an SD card slot or something like that? At this screen is where you can input that code. Yeah, 1972, I think. Yeah, yeah. That'll unlock Pong. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do that. I have to go dig out my paddle controllers. Glad you could pop in this time. Yeah, well, I'm glad to have you, Kevin. So, Leo would love to get a nice 4-way stick someday for the 2600. Lots of good games on both the 2600 and 7800 would benefit. Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, Branch, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. And, let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, nothing else going on in chat. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and just start with a shooter, because I know Dasan likes his shooters. Yeah, the crop is not normal. Damn, how am I going to do this? Every single game seems to have a different resolution, and I'm trying to figure out like how I should handle the crop with this. I think what I might do is just kind of bring it in a little bit, and then just I don't know. Let's see. Just bear with me here, guys. Trying to fix the crop with my super awkward setup. I always like to try to go full screen with these on my crop if I can, but there you go. So we're going to go ahead and just do that. So River Raid is a vertically scrolling shoot 'em up. You know, so for those of you shmup fans out there, let's go ahead and hit that reset button. So on a lot of 2600 games, you have to hit reset to actually start the game, and that's on the console itself. Some games you can start just by pressing a button, but in the case of River Raid, I have to hit reset. So here we go. So the goal of River Raid is to shoot stuff, but also collect fuel. And you collect fuel just by flying over the fuel canisters. Very basic shooter, but it's a classic. Probably one of my favorite 2600 games. You press up to accelerate, and you press down to decelerate. It's also one of those games, and this is very common on 2600 shooters, is just holding down the button, it'll just do an auto fire one by one. Kind of like so. Oops, almost got hit there. So if you've never played much 2600, yeah, it looks very basic, but from a gameplay standpoint, they still hold up pretty well, because they get challenging very quickly. And if you're the kind of player that enjoys challenges, 2600 games are still pretty fun. A lot of people will look at this generation of gaming, you know, kids that grew up with NES and on in particular, they look at this era of gaming, they're like, ah, it's dumb, I don't need to play it, but it's definitely worth experiencing. And, you know, from one, the challenge standpoint, but this is also gaming history right here. This is where it all started, folks. You know, the Atari 2600, not the very first video game home console, but it was the first popular one. And this is kind of what, oops. This is kind of what kickstarted the video game industry, really, in terms of the mainstream. This was the first, like, mega popular video game console. Well, not this specific one, I'm on the Flashback 2, but the original 2600. Originally known as the Atari VCS, Video Computer System. And, yeah, good times. Before this era, you had lots of Pong clones, and then you had some other dedicated units like the Magnavox Odyssey. So now River Raid, oops, I slammed into the wall, that was my fault. River Raid is another one where, you know, changing difficulty modes changes how how you shoot and things like that. So right now I just shoot straight forward, but there's a mode you can pick where, your shot will actually move with you, so you can sort of control your aim. Hey, John, welcome back, man. Yeah, a long time. Where have you been? Hey, Streets, welcome back. My voice volume is a bit too low. Is anyone else having problems with that? I had leveled it before starting this game, but I can turn it down a little bit. All right, I did it a few dB. Still has his Revision 2 6-switcher. Nice. You think the game is loud? Okay, let me do another round here. Let me hit select. So yeah, this is number 2. And yeah, let me know how the voice is now. I lowered it by like 4 dB. You know, some of these games are really loud with the background noise. Okay, no, this isn't the one where I can change. I can. Oh, I might have put it on 2-player mode actually. Yeah, what I actually did was I did the difficulty switch. So let me do it on 1. Sorry, I did the select, which is I think player select, and let's see. Leo, isn't there a way to where you can set River Raid to have you aim your, like, control your shots? Your shots go wherever you move. How do you do that? I pressed the difficulty B button. Left difficulty switch. Okay. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so you notice that my shot is now turning with me. Kind of like so. Let me go ahead and start a brand new game. Yeah, so you can shoot the fuel canisters. You get points for it. But you need to make sure that you don't run out of fuel. Maybe Leo knows this. Did they include River Raid 2 on here? I didn't do like a full once-over of this games list before doing this stream, so what games are on here is still kind of like up in the air for me. River Raid 2 is pretty interesting. No River Raid 2? Okay, darn. That would have been cool to show off. That's okay. We'll do an actual 2600 stream sometime in the future on either my actual 2600 hardware. Oops, or we'll do Stella via emulation, which is Stella. I mean, there are other Atari 2600 emulators out, but there's really only one worth using in this day and age, and that's Stella. Really fantastic emulator. Alright, let's just go here. Whoa, that was close. Almost slammed into that guy. Oh, why don't I do that? There we go. Ah. Alright, we need to slow down here. Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I didn't slow down fast enough. I'm going this way. kind of tell it's already starting to get a little bit tougher. Taking my time. Oh, I think that's it. Nope, one more. Oh no! Oh, I got greedy there. I should have slowed down before. Hey, Uriel, welcome to the stream. It's too bad about missing on the third-party content. I mean, there is some third-party content on here. But the newer flashbacks have that issue resolved. But I mean, I think some of the biggest ones though are on here. River Raid's one of the absolute biggest ones. So is Pitfall. So there are a few of those on here, which is nice. So it's still, even though this is really old, there's still a really good mixture of software on here. So let's go ahead and power cycle. Unfortunately, there's no way to just get back to the main menu here. You have to actually turn it off and turn it back on. So we'll go ahead and do Adventure. This is another classic. No Activision? Well, I mean, River Raid was Activision. So River Raid, Pitfall, those are both Activision. Let's see. Let's see. NES and SNES games are probably the worst in terms of price. If you're looking at cart only, which is very common for 16-bit and 8-bit platforms, there's a lot of stuff that's still really affordable. But if you were talking, you start getting into like, Sega Saturn, even PlayStation stuff is starting to go up in price like really, really fast. It's pretty crazy. It's getting to the point with those systems that like NES is starting to look good again. Never thought I'd say that in terms of prices. John Evan, welcome back. But that's why flashcards are a thing, and ODEs. And Sketchcraft, I don't think I said hello, man. Good to see you, dude. 2600 was your first console. It was my first console, too. Yeah, that's what's cool about doing this. I have a major soft spot for the 2600 because it was the first video game console my family had. I was basically born into a family with a 2600. And so I played that for the first 4, 5, 6 years, and then I got an NES. So, and then my parents sold the 2600, and it was the late 90s when I rediscovered it via emulation, and then I started to buy actual original hardware. And that kind of is what got me into my first phase of video game collecting. So this is Adventure. This is, well, it's kind of an adventure game. It's very simple, but it's still pretty fun. So what we did there is we grabbed that key to open up this gate, and then we get this arrow-looking thing, which is actually a sword, I believe, and you can use it to kill the monster, although the monster just flew off the screen for some reason. I'll take it. So I want to get this black key, and this is just course number 1. You actually have 3 different courses in this game. Let's see if we can get him to come over here. These guys will actually chase you. Kind of like so. Oh, he's disappeared. What happened to him? Maybe he went back to his original spawn point. I don't know. I really want to open up this console and look at the ports on the motherboard, see what it takes to install a cartridge slot. So yeah, I mean the goal is to get to the end. This is actually a bridge, and you can pick it up, and it'll let you Okay, this is kind of bad. You don't want to get swallowed by these guys, but you can actually pick it up to cross these walls. Is he gonna come up here or what? I love how the backgrounds change color in this. But yeah, if you get eaten, it's pretty much game over. And there we go. This thing is like a magnet. Okay, let me put this over here. I don't know. I don't think I need the key. So I've got this chalice. I might have to take this back to the beginning. Like, it's been a while since I played Adventure. Oh, for God's sake, come on. There we go. So, oh, don't get eaten. Uh-oh, no. Oh, you son of a gun. Alright, well, that's game over, actually. I'm in his tummy. Let's try that again. What's actually interesting is that it saves your progress if you just reset. That's very cool. Which way do I need to go? I don't know. Let's try this. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Alright, let's come back. Nah, it's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to try to come this way. Let's go this way. Hey, Retro Simon. Oh, dead end. No! No! I got eaten again. Ugh. Food for the monsters. Find it a bit hard to get into. Everything's hard for you to get into, Dasan. Every time I stream, you're like, God, this game doesn't look like it's aged well at all. You know, Dasan, if you actually gave it a chance, you might actually find it fun. Instead of making assumptions. God damn it, man. This is, I don't actually... Let me actually power cycle and just start over from the beginning. Because the chalice was actually stuck in a wall. I don't know if I'd actually be able to access it, so... Hey man, I don't comment on your looks. Actually, when people look at me, they don't think I'm almost 40. So, I take that as a compliment, actually. It would not play it, but it's timeless. Okay. You guys. Alright, dead end again. I wonder if those are the same monsters from the first room. Ah, no, let go of me. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Holy crap, dude. Oh, I got eaten again? Come on. Alright. You gotta be kidding me, dude. Alright, well that's adventure. I wanted to show the end of the level, but... I mean... I don't know. Let me try it one more time. Hey, what's up, Akela? What's going on? And Retro Simon. Dasan was born looking 30. Thanks, Liberal Arts guy. I appreciate it. Lee said, is anyone was surprised to see Adventure 2 was a homebrew sequel commissioned for the Flashback 2? John turned 40 late last month. We're all getting old. Mark says this is one of the first games he ever played as a kid. Nice, Mark. That's cool, dude. Let's see. What is Leo saying? 2600 prices have the benefit of age. A lot of the kids that grew up with it were collecting heavily in the early 2000s. Prices were regularly climbing. scenes stabilize and there isn't a huge regular influx of adults wanting to relive their childhood. Yeah, all the adults now that want to relive their childhood are like, you know, it's the NES era. It's the late 80s and, well, kind of all of the 90s now. We've gotten to a point where pretty much all the late 80s and all the 90s is what makes up the current collector market today. As far as like what's driving prices up. Yeah, you don't see 2600 prices skyrocketing that much. Let me come over here, see if I can kill these guys. Let's see if we can find them. Where are they? Where are you bastards? You're not going to eat me again this time. Ha ha ha. Quit running away from me. It's like they know I have a sword. We know what you've got. We're not going to come near you with that sword. Just finish building your new game PC and then you see this. Yeah, my, how far games have come, you know? Alright. I feel like they're not going to appear until I get this key, but I can potentially bait them towards that sword and then kill them. Maybe. Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me, dude. Alright, I have an idea, actually. I have a good idea. I hope this works. Hey, look at that. Alright, the problem is I have to go put this back. There we go. Sure. Oops, wrong way. Again, put that right there. And they're gone. I don't remember what the magnet is for, though. Let's GTFO. I love the flashing colors in 2600 games. There's some really cool title screens too. And there we go. So that's the goal. And so we just beat the first quest. Now, if I do select, there's up to 3 quests. So here's quest number 3. And check this out. The world map changes. So quest number 3 is a lot more complex than the other ones. And I can barely see what I'm doing here. So if I was a kid, I would probably map that out. Whoa. Hey, no, you son of a... There's a bat that took my key. I don't know how to do the adventure Easter egg branch. Sorry, man. Yeah, I have no idea how to do it. I've got the bat. I don't have the bridge. I got the key, though. Let's see if we can use this on any of these castles. Hey, hey. Oh, there's the bridge. Nice. Alright, just do it like this. Another key. Black keys right there, huh? Oh no. So many dark places. When the screen's blinking, that usually means that there's some other object on the screen. I can see down there's a pixel that's blinking in the bottom left. Maybe that's an enemy. Oh geez. I need an epileptic warning for this. Jeez, man, these this must loop around on itself like the other one, because I keep going to the same areas. Yeah, back here. Oh, that's interesting. I have to have the key every time I want to go in and out. Oh, okay. If I keep the key in here, the door stays open. That's interesting. Clever adventure. Clever. Ooh, a sword. That's what the pixel was. Alright, well, that's quest number 3. I give up. Let's switch games. Yeah, Adventure's a good one. That's a classic. I mean, they're all most of these are classics. There's some that are like, eh. But, you know, it's, you know, if I remember correctly, it is actually a pretty good lineup on here. We'll come back to some of these later. We'll try to mix up the types of games we played. So we did try the skill and action zone. Combat. So Combat, it's not a lot of reason to play it solo. Combat was kind of mostly a multiplayer game, so I might not show it off. Combat 2, this was a homebrew. Was it? Or is it a prototype? I don't think Combat 2 ever came out back in the day. Leo? Do you know? Leo knows all. Oh, that's interesting. I'm underneath the trees. Yeah, this is meant to be 2 players. There's a second tank down here. Combat 2 was a prototype. Okay, that's what I thought. Wow, the tank takes multiple hits now. Okay. It was unfinished and never released. Alright. Yeah, so there are kind of like updated versions of some of these games too. Like Arcade Asteroids is a hack of the 2600 asteroids. The 2600 asteroids, the asteroids were all solid. But in Arcade Asteroids here, they're not filled in. And so it looks a little more like the arcade game. If you've never played Asteroids, you can hold up to move. And then you can let go and you'll just continue sliding a little bit. I think pressing down does hyperspace. You can do hyperspace as much as you want. It just kind of places you to a random spot on the playfield. Come on. There we go. actually kind of surprising how good the composite looks on this thing. It's still not as great as what I'm used to looking at with, you know, my modern art. Well, more modern RGB compatible consoles, things like that. But, you know, the pixels are still blocky and chunky. Not super blurred. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what's interesting about this game is that you'll notice that the asteroids kind of just go vertically. They go up and down. They don't veer out much to the left and right. Let's try a different difficulty select. Oops, I power cycled. I didn't mean to power cycle. Say press both difficulty switches. I wish there was a way to go down. You say number 8, huh? Alright, I press both. Ooh, there we go. Okay, there's some side-to-side movement. Side-to-side movement means I have to actually move around the screen, which makes the game a lot more interesting. Ooh, and there are the UFOs. Okay, okay. Now the game means business. Yeah, I figured everyone knew already, but yeah, this Flashback 2, it is an early 2000s product. It is not modern by any means. It's funny how, like, even as plug-and-plays are concerned, it's actually old. Hard to believe it's been around this long. Tiny UFO. Oh, and that's game. Hey, Chris, I'm playing games. What's going on? Yes, it is basically a real 2600. It's just, yeah, it's a 2600 on a chip. It's pretty cool. No, this is hooked into my XRGB2 Plus, and that's running into my data path capture card. The reason is that there are so many resolution switches, it just kills the Elgato. The Elgato, when there are too many resolution switches, it'll lock up and I'll have to reboot my whole computer. And that's not good when I'm streaming. So yeah, using the XRGB2 Plus to get that into my data path capture card. So the XRGB2 Plus outputs the signal via VGA, which is how I run everything into my data path card. I use the data path card for stuff like my retro PC gaming, for instance. I have a Windows 95 and 98 machine and a Windows 7 machine, and I run all those into the data path via VGA, and that's how I can capture those. The data path card can capture 70 hertz DOS games, which the Elgato cannot. But this capture card with the XRGB2 Plus is actually coming really handy for stuff like this with tons of resolution switching that would just destroy my Elgato completely. And Chris, like, you know all about the sync issues, or like the resync issues, like when something switches from like 240p to 480i with the FrameMeister, it takes like 5 to 8 seconds for the signal to get picked back up. Well, with the data path card, the no signal drop is just like, not even half a second. So it's good for streaming, especially. So, let's see. Is this the first game with background music? If you can call that music. That was not music. No, that was just background noise. There's a few games on the 2600 with, a few games with in-game music, but I'm not sure how many on this collection in particular have that. So let's go back to arcade favorites. You could see here just how like there's a no signal drop, like just switching menus. It's crazy. Like there's no way I could have done this through my FrameMeister, which sucks. I have built up the catalog of gear, yeah. Although I would like to swap out this XRGB2 Plus with a different one, because the 2 Plus it's got a notoriously wavy image, which is pretty easy to see on the capture. It actually looks fine on the CRT. I'm running it into a VGA PC monitor. Yeah, I would like, I don't know, maybe like an XRGB3, but the problem is they're not cheap. Not cheap. Why do people still want stuff? Why do people still want a VCR? Well, there are a bunch of different reasons, Dasan. For one, some people just have a big collection of VHS tapes. So it's like, why throw it all out if it still works, right? And if you're hooking it up to a CRT, it looks fine. Two, if you have old RF-based systems like the Intellivision, the Atari 2600, ColecoVision, things like that, you could run the RF signal into the VCR, and then the VCR will output it via, say, sometimes VCRs will have pass-throughs, like composite pass-throughs, and if you're trying to capture footage, that's a way of capturing, old Golden Age era consoles without buying, like a converter or something. So a VCR can have multiple purposes for, especially Golden Age era gamers. So, yes, this is true. There's a huge catalog of movies that won't be released elsewhere. Absolutely. Yeah, this is Battlezone. Leo, feel free to chime in about these games, because I don't know the history of a lot of this stuff. Like in terms of some of these ports. Like, was this version of Battlezone actually on the 2600 back in the day? I thought it was. I had mainly played Robot Tank. So for those of you guys that don't know, the 2600, they had brand new games coming out for it for at least like 10 years after the system came out. And so there are a lot of releases I'm still not super familiar with, because they're like late 80s releases. It's pretty impressive how long the system lasted. This is Genuine was a big hit back in the day on the 2600. Nice. Yeah, very impressive visuals for the console. Oh god, double track. Yeah, I myself in particular played a lot of Robot Tank, and I'm pretty sure that was Activision. I think Robot Tank was Activision. Jeez, it's very easy to get hit in this one. Although I guess I have to look at my my radar, because there are guys behind me. it doesn't look like I can shoot those bullets either. At least I don't think I can. Yeah, so Battlezone was a vector-based arcade game, so this actually looks pretty much nothing like the arcade game. But it is still pretty cool, gameplay-wise. Alright, let's see if we can, looks like that's just lives. I don't know if that's like difficulty or lives. Anything interesting with the difficulty selects, Leo? Still got it. No, you can't shoot the bullets down. You have to actually dodge it. You don't think they do anything on this one? Yeah, I pressed all the difficulty switches, did the select, and it seemed like nothing happened. Oh, jeez, man. Time coding this stream is going to be fun. It's going to be like every 5 minutes there's going to be a new time code. Dude, it still hit me. That was garbage. Hot garbage. Like, that didn't hit me. It went past my tank. There was a big gap on the left, and it still hit me somehow. Okay, that hit me. I saw that. Yeah, it's interesting, Leo. If you hit select, you'll notice that my lives go up and down, so I'm not really sure what that is. Like, I don't know if that's difficulty 1 or difficulty 2, difficulty 3. Oh, God. Dude, Chris, I've watched so many retrospectives of that goddamn game, I don't think I'm ever going to play it again. Like, I'm not joking. Sonic Adventure 1, I had kind of wanted to try to go through and beat. But after watching so many retrospectives, yours included, I'm kind of doubting myself there too. I might just never beat them, and I think I'll be perfectly okay with that. I like the Genesis and CD Sonics, and then you know, I want to play through Sonic Mania, but aside from that, I think I'm okay without playing any other Sonic games. It's actually not true. I might want to try to beat Colors one day. And then Sonic Generations. Those aside, I think I'm good with Sonic. Yeah, right? Videos on Sonic Adventure 2 are better than actually playing Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, the action stages with Sonic and Shadow look fun, but anything else in the game just looks tedious as all hell. Alright, we're just getting wrecked here, so I'm going to go ahead and power cycle. Oh, I do have Lost World on the Wii U. I did want to try to play through that. Yeah. Alright. Yar's Revenge. This is a classic. No problem, Tanya. I'm never bored anymore. Alright, so the goal of Yar's Revenge is to break down this barrier, get inside where this guy is, and then shoot a beam. Boom. Destroy it, just like that. And that's the whole game. We just beat Yar's Revenge. Leo, actually, are there any pinball games on here? Hey, Mike Valgalder. I didn't see you out there, man. I'd love to play some video pinball right now. But you can see how the shield actually changes properties now. So it's a little bit harder to do this. Oops. If I recall correctly, you don't want to get hit by your own beam. I'm pretty sure that actually kills you. Yeah, no, I do think the sound makes this game. Without the sound, this game would not be, I think, as fun to play. Oh, no. I have played Midnight Magic, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I mean, Sonic Adventure 2 and 1, they've got some great soundtracks at least, but man, there are some games I'll play just for the music, but those are not the kinds of games I would play just for the music. The games aren't exactly short, you know? I can play like 30-minute long mediocre games that have great soundtracks and be okay with it, because I don't feel like I've wasted an entire weekend. And I'm like, yeah, that music was good. The game was worth playing. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I'll pass. I'll pass. Okay, let's wait for this guy. Got it. Called Yar's Return, yeah. I'll have to play that later, Leo, because I haven't tried it. It's actually interesting. You can change size of the screen, which is pretty cool. That's actually kind of broken now that I think about it, because like I can just go back and forth all day long and be perfectly safe. Oh, can't catch me! Oh, can't catch me! Catch me! Oh no! Whoa! Look at you! Oh, jeez. Okay. Got a little cocky there. Oh, jeez. Maybe not perfectly safe. But look at... Oh, see? There we go. Jeez, this sucker is fast. I have to stay in constant motion. Alright, that's game. Let's see. Pirate Millipede later too. They have the unreleased GCC programmed prototype on a later run unit with the released Atari version. Huh, interesting. Alright, let's see. The hate some people have for it kind of reminds me of Donkey Kong 64. Yeah, I mean, the thing about some of those games is that they've got some very... they've got some design elements that certain types of players just do not enjoy. I don't like bloat in my games. I don't like... You know, one reason I haven't gotten into DK64 is just that the whole collectathon thing does not appeal to me at all. You know, I just don't want to have anything to do with it. Which is the reason you guys don't really see me do a lot of 3D platformers. The Sonic Adventure games, Part 2 in particular, has just a lot of bloat that is just really unnecessary. You know, I say I won't go play any of the Sonic Adventures again. I probably will do Part 1 eventually, because I did play it back when Implant Games and I were doing a podcast. This was probably like 2012 or 2013, where I actually made like an honest effort at Sonic Adventure 1 and probably got... Oh, I don't want to say like halfway through the game, but I got a decent ways through on Sonic's campaign at the very least, and I thought it was fun. You know, with Sonic, it was fun. But so maybe eventually I'll go back and do that. But Sonic Adventure 2, definitely big no. I know exactly what I'm getting into with that one. That's a big no. So, yeah, no, I agree, Chris. I totally agree. Yeah, it's kind of like totally different generations of gaming, really. I mean, like the popular games on, say, Nintendo 64 were 3D platformer collectathons. You hear so many kids that grew up with the N64 being their first console saying, oh, I love Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64 so much. And I look at those games and I'm like, ugh, man, so much tedium and a waste of time. But I can't knock other people for liking them. It's just that you know, if I go back and I try to play it, I could at least say, like, why I don't like it. I don't know. There are some 3D platformers I'm still going to play. Like, Mario 64 seems to hold up really well based on all the gameplay I've seen. Leo's Millipede right now. You're talking the paddle controls? Yeah, they do. There aren't many paddle games on here, though, so... You always wanted to do Donkey Kong 64 to unlock the arcade game. You just couldn't get into that game, yeah. Probably not worth it, Leo. Especially now when you can get Donkey Kong Arcade on the Switch, can't you? I've got the Atari version. Okay. So it's a later run unit. All right. Sonic Adventure 1 is more tedious than 2. 2 is better. Yeah, there's a secret code. You have to type out 1972. Is it 72? Leo talked about it earlier today. I'm starting to understand why Stexor isn't familiar with most of the games I played. I think he's a Nintendo 64 kid. He's like, I love these games. Oh, I'm just screwing with you, Stexor. I mean, I might be right though. Were you an N64 kid? But you also play NES games, so I don't know. I'm conflicted now, Stexor. All right. Select starting score. I'll start with 0. Alright, so if you've never played Millipede, it's basically the sequel to Centipede. And you have to destroy this centipede that comes down. And then destroy other stuff in the process to get more points. You can't go any higher than this colored area down below. Oh, I love the first 3 Crash games. I need to get Crash 2 and 3 and do those on a YouTube stream. Although I could probably just use my PSP for those. I have them on PSN for my PSP, and I do know that they output at 240p when you play them on the PSP. Holy crap! There's a lot going on. I like that. Man, there's a lot more going on with Millipede than there is in Centipede. Stexor's first console was the PS2. What? I'm having a Stexor epiphany. Yeah, exactly, Chris. And there's a little bit of story in Crash, but I'm pretty sure you can skip all of it. And, like, yeah, the level design is just straightforward, it's linear, it's... You could argue it's quite padded if you're trying to get all the crystals, but just going from point A to point B, you know, just beating the game normally, it's still a lot of fun. I love those games. Visually speaking as well, they've aged quite well too. By, you know, PS1 standards anyway. I think this is my last life. Okay, yeah. The way some of these enemies skip around the screen reminds me of some of the CDI games we were playing a few weeks ago. This is kind of crazy, actually. I didn't realize Millipede was so crazy like this. It's kind of manic, actually. Got an extra life. Oh, it bounced against that. So in the arcade game, these, at least with Centipede, these would be mushrooms. These blocks I'm hitting. They block your shots but can be destroyed. In the arcade versions, you can actually see yourself chipping away at them. These arcade versions also use trackballs. Oh, that's game over. Yeah, it's like bullet hell on the Atari. Absolutely. All right. Sexer's first console was PS2, but he also grew up with Mega Drive, Dreamcast, because your brothers had them. Because of that, holy crap! Okay, that explains things. Well, now when you're like, hey, I've never seen this game before, I'll understand because you haven't been around for 38 years like some of us have. So that makes sense. Okay. Actually, GBA was your first console, you think? Your stepson's first console was an original Xbox. Such a good system. For Liberal Arts Guy, it was PS2. I know Liberal Arts Guy is young. Oh, you had a Coleco Gemini? Oh, nice, Leo. That's really cool. Branch says Sonic Adventure 1 has the best face animation. Alright. Let's scroll back down. You didn't play older consoles to your teenage years. That's when you started buying consoles like NES, SNES, and got many games. That's cool. That's, I mean, well, so for me, it was a little bit different because, like, I grew up with the NES. You know, it was, you know, I started with the 2600, but then my parents bought me an NES when it was either 5 or 6. I don't remember what birthday it was. I was pretty young. And then I kind of lived the normal console cycles from there until the mid-90s. So I had an NES, and then we got a Super Nintendo in 93, along with a Game Boy and Game Gear in between that. And then got a Genesis in probably 95, along with a Sega CD later on, because they were super cheap at that point. And then you know, this is when emulators started coming around. So you could download software emulators of old consoles, and you know, my parents had long gotten rid of the, you know, Atari 2600, and so I rediscovered the platform with software emulation, and then I found out about the Commodore 64, then the MSX, and then I went out and I bought my own Atari 2600. They were super cheap. You can get them at yard sales like for $10. And then that led into getting like an Intellivision, a ColecoVision, and an Odyssey 2, an Intellivision 2, you know, an Atari 5200, and then an Atari 7800. Like I went backwards and just rediscovered all this. Or I rediscovered the 2600, but also newly discovered stuff like the Intellivision and ColecoVision. And then I started getting into some other more obscure stuff that I had never gotten the chance to own. So in the late 90s, I got my first 3DO, I got my Jaguar, I got a TurboGrafx 16, then a Turbo Duo, and then a Neo Geo CD, and, you know, all sorts of other stuff. So, you know, I was in my early teens when I started getting into that, you know, so. Once I got a job, the floodgates opened. Not really, actually, because stuff was so cheap back then that I could buy all this stuff just with my allowance money. So my parents gave me, like, I don't remember if it was like $5 or $10 a week to do, you know, chores around the house and stuff like that. But like that $10 a week would go out and get me a brand new Sega CD game or a Saturn game or a 32X game or something. So just with my allowance money, I built up a big collection. And then my dad started taking me to yard sales. He thought it was fun going out early Saturday mornings and he thought it was cool that I had an interest in it. So we found a bunch of good deals that way as well. My first Intellivision cost me $1 at it was like a church, flea market or something. It was just kind of like sitting in a dusty corner, and it had, no RF switch or anything, but I had that hookup for other systems. So, and yeah, so I mean, we did find some really good deals. So I remember buying a neighbor's Master System for $10, had the box and everything. Yeah, so all right, so this is Pitfall. So Pitfall is kind of a weird one. It doesn't really... You just kind of play and just let it go until your time runs out. So kind of like beating the game in one sense is just playing until your time runs out. You only get a couple of lives. But there is a finite amount of screens on the playfield, or in the game, sorry. And there's a finite amount of treasures, and the goal in the game is to map out all the screens and all the treasures, and then try to get through all the screens and all the treasures. Any animal you touch or fire you touch, you will die instantly. You can stand on the crocodiles, at least more towards like their back. If you're on their front, like the tip of their mouths, when they open up, you'll just get eaten right away. But yeah, with Pitfall, you can either go left or right. And if I remember correctly, to do all the treasures, you want to go left. You kind of want to go backwards. And it's kind of one of the interesting things. The tunnels down here, actually, they warp you around the playfield. So you'll notice that's, sort of 3 gaps there. And now you notice it's different. I'm actually in a different part of the playfield. So, and if we go back down again, it's a totally different screen because these caves on here just warp you to other parts of the playfield. Now they are locked in place, but they take you to other parts. Oops, I jumped too early. Well, it's your loss, Alex. You're missing out on some good game history. You're missing out on some fun games as well. Your loss. Yeah, so the logs, they actually take away your score. So if you're trying to play for high score, then you obviously don't want to touch any logs. Let's fall down here. There are the scorpions. Oh! My jump wasn't precise enough. You moved on, then why are you watching my channel? I mostly do old school games. If you're not here for the old school games, I can happily give you a boot just to make your life easier on yourself. Because we obviously don't want to waste any of your time. There we go. Kind of funny companies like Activision, Electronic Arts were around back then, yeah. Yeah, no, they were different companies back then, owned by different people. So, Trip Hawkins was one of the original, I guess, founders and probably CEO of Electronic Arts. And they had a totally different attitude back then. I mean, the industry was very different in the 80s, even the early 90s, early to mid 90s. So, oops, why did I do that? That's gotta be Austin. that's Pitfall. Pitfall is a classic, but I think Pitfall 2 is a much more interesting game, but I don't think that's on here, unfortunately. So, not really, Mark. No, I didn't really get into those flight games on Genesis. I tried, but it just wasn't. They weren't that much fun for me. Let's try this Yar's Revenge. The Atari 2600 Scorpion hanging out at a secret door. Oh, you're talking Pitfall the Mayan Adventure? Yeah. This is the only flashback model, Dave says, where you can hack a cartridge port into it. This is true. Yep. I don't think Chris likes the Mayan Adventure very much. Wow, that was fast. Did it say Yar's return? Hold on. Let me go back. Oh, wrong one. Yar's Return. Okay, yeah, I picked Yar's Revenge again. There we go, 2005. Hey, Mario. Mario likes his Atari 2600. Holy crap. Oh my god. My monitor's not getting a signal at all. Holy crap, I can't even play this. Okay, there it is. Wow, my monitor dropped the signal completely. Yeah, no, I can't even play the game. I'm not getting a picture on my monitor. Yeah, right, Chris? We mentioned that earlier. It's like, what? 2004? Yeah, I can't do this, guys. Wow, that sucks. And that sucks pretty hard. Let's try Quad Run. I don't think I've ever actually played Quad Run, even though it's kind of a sought-after 2600 game. Yeah, Leo, it's actually really strange they gave CRT owners problems.
Quad Run. Quad Run.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. I did hear about that, Mario, yeah. Yeah.
Quad Run.
Do I have to seriously catch my own bullet? Okay. That's kind of interesting. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, am I able to hit this thing? Oh, I can get over here. Wait. Okay.
quadrant.
So I have to collect my own bullets. Snags 50. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, so if you miss, then you die. That's what's happening.
Quadrant.
Alright, try this again. Now that I've kind of got it figured out. So... Okay. Yeah, so you press up or down to switch sides, and then you have to catch your bullet. Oh, jeez. And if you miss, that's not good.
Quadrant.
Am I going to play any other consoles? No. Because this is an Atari Flashback 2 stream. As the image suggests, and the title of the stream suggests. Alright, one more try.
Quadrant.
I have a Super NT and a Mega SG and a Retro USB AVS. No, there is no input lag. This is different. This is an old plug and play from 2004, which is not an FPGA console. Though it's not using software emulation, it's all in the hardware still. So there's no input lag here either. But I highly recommend the FPGA systems. They're very good. Although if you really want an FPGA system, I'd probably recommend going with a Mister these days. Because it's just a better value for your money.
Quadrant.
The Holy Trinity. Oh, these guys swing back and forth. Okay, that's why they call them yo-yos, I guess. I don't know, Leo. I'd say this game's pretty cool. Definitely skill involved. It's interesting, at least, you know?
Quadrant.
Yeah, Branch, it is pretty fun. When you first play it, you're like, what the hell am I... Whoa! Geez, that got fast. You're like, what the hell am I doing? But... No, it's pretty cool. Oh, that was cheap. I didn't see it coming from behind. Alright, that's Quad Run. We're an hour and a half in. What I'm going to do is actually take a quick restroom break. I had a bunch of soda before I started the stream. So I'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. Kaboom is your favorite. Yeah, Kaboom's a great game. The game room does live. Ugh. Oh, man. All right, see you, Chris. Take care, man. Good to see you again. It's been a little while. I will see you around. Leo's first exposure to the 7800 past some 2600 games and accessories that were marked for dual 2600 7800 compatibility was being gifted by an aunt back in 1992. Nice. I would have loved to have had a 7800 in the early 90s. One of my neighbors had one, and I really enjoyed playing it when I had the chance. Speaking of 7800, so I guess there was a 2600 version of this game. I didn't know that. I thought Fatal Run was a 7800 game. This is pretty cool. Yeah, there are actually quite a few driving games on the Atari 2600. From stuff like Pole Position to Night Driver to Enduro by Activision. That's actually one of my favorites, is Enduro. Yes. That's the Atari console with a controller that looks like a remote. ColecoVision and Intellivision also had controllers with keypads. I'm not sure what any of these things are on the playfield, aside from these things that are obviously cars. Not sure what my meters are in the bottom. I'm gonna guess one is probably... Yeah, like I'm not sure what these are. I guess I'm not supposed to run into those. It's pretty cool though, 1989. That's what I'm talking about. Well over 10 years. And the 2600 was still getting brand new games. And some games with music. Yeah, Branch, totally agreed, man. The 7800, technically the hardware was pretty good, but the audio was just awful. It could have been fixed completely if they, put a pokey inside the console. Whereas, I believe it just uses the TIA chip for sound, which is awful. But the couple of games that had pokey support built in, like Ball Blazer had a pokey sound chip in it. It was great. It sounded really good. If the 7800 had that built in, man, the console would be so much more appealing. My big issue with the 7800 is the sound. It's so hard to appreciate a lot of the games with the really grainy, awful sound. And then software support was really bad on the console too, because honestly, Atari didn't really care that much. The Tremels were like, whatever, we're just not gonna, whatever. So it didn't have a lot of software support, so we didn't really ever get to see what the platform was really capable of. Not until a more recent homebrew, like I think it was Ricky and Vicky, or is it Vicky and Ricky? I don't remember. Very impressive looking game. It goes to show what games could look like on the system. Look and animate and sound. But most 7800 games from back in the day, it was kind of hard to compete with NES and even Master System stuff. They were that basic. But there's still some good stuff on there. Like, don't get me wrong, the 7800 is still a cool system. It's really hard avoiding these guys, and it's not like I can shoot or anything, from what it seems like. Or am I supposed to bump them off the course or something? I don't think so. I don't know what I just did. There's some huge difference between the 2600 and 7800? Yeah, 7800 is a much later console, much more powerful, much more capable, I should say. I mean, the 5200 was much more capable than the 2600 as well. Some of the arcade ports on 5200 were really cool. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Fatal Run. You'd pick Enduro almost every NES racer except Rad Racer. Yeah, I'm trying to think, and yeah, I wasn't really all that impressed with a lot of the NES racing games. Like the behind-the-back racing games, at least. When it came to stuff like Top Down, yeah, there's the RC Pro-Am. I mean, those games are great. And there's Super Sprint and Super Off-Road. Those are really good on NES. Yeah, Enduro is a great game. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it's on here. So yeah, it's not something we can play, unfortunately. It would be really cool to show it off. Yeah, it's not on here. So, Leo, is Fatal Run the only driving game on here? Oh, I wish there was a faster way to get back, but there's only one button on the controller. Yeah, I mean, that's it. There's not much else here. Alright, let's do Missile Command. Alright, do reset. So for Missile Command, you just have to line up your shots with the missiles that are falling. And that's pretty much it. Another port of an arcade game by Atari. You do have a limited amount of ammunition. It's the little black ticks at the bottom of the playfield in the middle. Dodge 'em is the only other one with a vehicle. And those little blue things are cities. And you don't want your cities to get destroyed. Some elements aren't present on Game 1. Which game would you recommend, Leo? And I can start a new game. I would definitely rather have a harder mode because this is pretty easy. It would definitely be harder if I was using an actual 2600 joystick. But since I'm using a custom arcade stick, it is definitely a little bit easier than it normally would be. Oh, I missed it. Okay, Leo. Let's try that again. Alright, so you say game 7. I guess that's it? Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's definitely slower. Okay, yeah, this is much more stressful. Ooh. One of them is toast. Oh, good lord. That's what I'm talking about, though. I love it when these games get more difficult. It's like you have to hit those directly on. Jeez, much more challenging. Yeah, it's like they bounce off your blast, Leo. You have to hit them directly on, it seems. Directly head on. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, so they just kind of bounce away. Wow, that's pretty much game. No, the whole world is gone, Leo. I botched it. All right. Looks like it goes up to 36 or 34. Oh, geez, look at how slow this is. Oh, everything's really slow. My parents actually had Beat 'em and Eat 'em when I was growing up. They hid it in the closet, and I found it one day and played it before they got home from work. I had no idea what was going on because I didn't understand at the time what it was all about. Not a very good game, though. Xevious was never released? I must be confusing it with the 7800 version then. Or was there a 5200 version? Alright, let's play a different game. Never officially released, okay. There's a lot of stuff on the 2600 that's quite impressive. Alright, we'll do Haunted House. Alright, so this is a little bit like Adventure. Your character is just this set of eyeballs. So let's go ahead and reset. And you've got a flashlight here. That's a stairwell. Looks like I'm on floor 3, floor 4. Holy crap. I just got spooked by a ghost. Back to floor 3. That's floor 2. That's floor 3. Oh crap! Again, jeez. There we go. I just got an item. I don't remember the rules of this game. I know there are items that you have to pick up. Oh, there we go. Got a scepter. Oh, Keystone Capers is great. That's a personal favorite of mine, too. Reassembling something, okay. No, it's not as bad as people say. It's definitely exaggerations, but it wasn't what people were expecting back in the day either. That was one of the big problems with the game. Like, I really have no idea what I'm doing. I used to know how to play this game, but I don't anymore. Yeah, Miss Pac-Man was an improvement, yeah. Regular Pac-Man, I think, is still enjoyable, though. It's just, you know, it's a little redundant. Because you could just play Pac-Man elsewhere. But it's, if you got a 2600, it's a ridiculously cheap game. So just gonna keep wandering around in circles. I'm just looking at chat right now. Pretend like I know what I'm doing. Oh, you combine those two items. Yeah, I have no idea. No clue. Okay. I just got a pot. I feel like it's important. Okay, I think we just beat the level. Okay, yeah. The whole ET thing, yeah. If you knew how to play the game, it was a fine game. If you didn't know how to play the game, it was one of the most frustrating experiences ever. And that's the thing is, I'm sure a lot of kids didn't bother to read the manual, or they were borrowing cartridges, kind of like we did with NES games growing up, and didn't have the manual with it. So yeah, figuring that game out on your own is not easy. You pretty much have to read the manual. Do you use, for some games, alternative controllers like arcade sticks, or do you always stick to regular game pads? I sometimes use arcade sticks. It's not very often. I typically use the stock controllers. So I typically like the official controllers. Although I do have a Brook adapter that lets me use my modern PS4 arcade stick on TurboGrafx and Sega Genesis. So I have started using that on those consoles, but it's still not very frequent. I still use, just the game pads more often than not. Leon, welcome to the stream. I'm good, thank you. All right, let's do so many choices. Oh, this is, no, can't do it. My monitor does not like that game. Atari Age is most certainly still there. It's actually, I think, more popular than it's ever been. Both Leo and I are on the forum itself. So, yep, we're both on there. So 3D Tic-Tac-Toe is kind of a goofy one. This is one of the few games my dad ever played. He always talks about this game whenever I mention Atari 2600. Yeah, so it's X's and O's, it's tic-tac-toe. Does it seriously have to do a resolution switch every time we make a turn? He blocked me. Oh, I had to be careful because he's gonna do a 4-way vertically. I can tell. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You got banned from Atari Age, what? How long ago was that? Alright, well, we're not going to play this one anymore because of the resolution switch. Years ago, trolling. Oh, Branch. Alright, so for anyone that's curious about combat, I'll just fire it up just to show you what it's all about. So, you have a bunch of different game types. So you first start off with just one-on-one tanks with different arenas. And then you go to biplanes. Those are clouds. You go behind them. And then there are, yeah, huge planes. And then jets. Jets were the most fun for me. This was one of the earliest, I guess, what you could call deathmatch games. It wasn't referred to as deathmatch back then, but it basically is just one-on-one. Oh, this has controllable bullets too. So a lot of us grew up playing this game, and we played it a lot actually. Even like in the late 80s and early 90s, some of us would still bust out the 2600 and play this game. It was a very fun multiplayer game. Yeah, so if you were playing, you know, with a tank, you hold up to move. The original PUBG. Yep. All right. Advance. All right, Leo, tell me the story behind this one. Was this something from back in the day? Or is this one of those homebrews? Okay, so some of these things I can pick up, and other things I cannot pick up. I can't pick that up. Wait, I can't pick that up? Okay. This is a modern homebrew. Okay. I had a feeling it was, because I don't remember ever seeing it back in the day. If I press the button, I run out of time. I'm not understanding this one bit. It's just reset again. Whoa! Look at that, the level designs randomize. That's interesting. Although, actually kind of a terrible idea when it comes to score chasing, but I digress. Oh, for God's sake, come on, man. That was just BS. Alright, there's some really poor design choices in this game. Holy crap. So these pink bars can cross the sides of the screen, but you can't. Okay. What is that? Can I touch it? That. Oh, I see. Dude, he climbs so slow, too. I guess that's the goal. Get that little dot. Alright, those are points. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It changes spots. Dude, what the hell? These things are just completely random. Yeah, it definitely needs a little bit of polish. These pink things are way too random, and you're way too slow to deal with them. No, Mike, I haven't played that, no. Alright, one more time. Yeah, it would be a little bit different if you could cross sides like the bars can, but you can't. So you just get cornered. Great, it's back. Okay. Oh, it just shifted. Yeah, I don't like how that thing just like randomizes. I mean, I guess technically it's good with how random these bars are, but I'd rather have just a clear goal to get to. Not one that changes on me. Like, look at... okay. Ah, still got hit. What? I couldn't do anything about that. Oh, I see. You press the button and they switch directions. But you lose 600 points of time. Okay, I get it. Alright, one more time. Now that I understand that you can change the directions of them. There we go. Hey, hey, Zopmeister! Why am I brave? Zopmeister is a huge Golden Age era fan. I've seen him play some in television on his Twitch stream. There we go. Okay, Leo. Oh, I wrote changed. Okay, good. No, I have no idea, Leon. Usually these games just go on forever. The era of games ending didn't really come around until, you know, the later 8-bit era. NES, Master System. Games prior to that were usually arcade style in nature and would just loop over and over again. It's not to say this game doesn't end, I just have no idea. This is my first time playing it. And television does rock. It's got some... You actually made me an even greater... You gave me a greater appreciation for that system when you showed off a bunch of the games on it. Like, I've played a lot of the common ones, but some of the stuff you showed off was a little more obscure, and I was like, damn, that looks really good. And really fun. It's not that I ever didn't respect the Intellivision. It's just that I didn't respect it as much as I now do. Oh, that sucks. It's gonna put me all the way at the bottom, isn't it? Yep, all the way at the bottom. Man, it's brutal. Hey, Darren. Now the power-ups are sort of changing direction. Video games never needed to progress past this. I mean, Sexor, don't get me wrong, there were plenty of games on the 2600 that could be beaten. You know, E.T. is one of those examples of a game that does actually end. Same with Adventure, same with Haunted House. You know, you've got, like in Adventure, you've got 3 campaigns, and then they all end. So it's not like games didn't end during this era, it's just it wasn't nearly as common as it was in the later 8-bit era. NES and Master System in particular, so... Oh, man. Alright, well, okay. Atari Climber was a little more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Still a little slow. A little slow. But yeah, it's good I actually figured out what to do. Let's try regular Centipede. This is an actual Atari era game. So some of these games have been homebrews. You'll find it's a lot like Millipede, but it's not as mechanically complex. It's mostly about the centipedes, the spiders, some of the mushroom spawners that'll fly down the playfield right there. And then I think, are they snails? I don't know what they are, but they kind of walk across the screen a little bit higher up. Yeah, there they are. Again, in the arcade game, these blocks would be mushrooms. And they would actually look like mushrooms. And they would chip away as you destroyed them. The flicker is real. Oh, that was bad. Yo, Adam! If it's too loud, you're too old. This is not as responsive as Millipede, though. Trying to make just like one step at a time is difficult. You know what I should do is I should use my Brook adapter with my PS4 arcade stick and then run it into the Flashback. Because you can use Genesis controllers on the 2600. And then I can use my Hori arcade stick instead of this cigar box stick I've got. That'd be a lot more comfortable. Because this thing is, it's decent, but it's got this, he's got really hard edges, and my hands rest on the edges, and it just eats into my hands. Hey, Crestline! Oh, I missed it! I just barely missed it. There you go, that's Centipede. I like these early 2600 ports, or ports of arcade games to 2600. They've got like a special kind of charm to them. And some of them, I mean, like Millipede in particular, is very manic. Yeah, Millipede was super manic compared to Centipede there. There was a lot going on. $1983 Atari. Nice. I've never played this one. I like it already. Oh, you keep going down. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we'll figure it out. I like the shades of color on all the fish. Alright, that was game over. Oh, jeez. Yeah, let's reset again. It actually kind of reminds me of Hero, where you're controlling just a dude, and you can shoot left or right. And the screen scrolls. Not sure if I'm supposed to go back up. Mermaid. Make sweet, sweet love to the mermaid. VCS style. Okay, so I guess the goal is to get some kind of treasure and then go back to the mermaid. Yeah, it goes on even further now. Mermaid love. Not safe for YouTube. Mr. Gameplay and Talk, we have just demonetized your stream because you made love to an 8-bit mermaid. God damn it, YouTube! Going deeper and deeper. Looks like that's my time up top. The whole air thing. There's a little turtle going across the screen. This is my first time playing this game. I've never played it before. I've never even seen it. I'm surprised I didn't know about it. Wonder if this is one of those ones that wasn't released back in the day, but was finished. I mean, unless it was a normal... Probably just a normal game. I've never seen it. There are a lot of 2600 games. It is a big library. So I am absolutely certain there are games out there I haven't seen before. I guess the spikes hurt me. Yep, they hurt me. I had to test that. I was curious. Yeah, it is pretty cool, Mike. I dig it. I approve. Oh. Yeah, Mario, I remember that compilation. I don't remember what the quality of it was like, though. Like, how the visuals and sound were, things like that. How accurate the emulation was. I try to avoid collections like that these days that aren't very accurate because I can just play the games on Stella or something like that. You know, I don't need a compilation from back in the day. But I do remember trying it a little bit long time ago, probably like 15 years ago. But I can't vouch for the quality of the emulation now. I'm just gonna run out of air actually. Oh geez, yeah, I was too slow. This is like Aqua Adventure or something like that. We'll get the name of it afterwards. I've forgotten already. It's Aqua something. What's up, Quake Master? Are you truly a Quake Master? Do I need to watch you play Quake and determine if you actually are a Quake Master? You are not the first person to mention that, Mark. Yeah, so that's it. You are a Quake Master? Well, you know what they say, seeing is believing. You know what I might do is swap out the parts in this stick. No, I'm not going to do that. That's not worth it. I'll show you guys the stick when, after I finish the stream. I actually have an unboxing video of it from a couple years ago. Maybe I'll just link that. No, I'll show you the stick. Hey, Serpent Sword. That's right, man. Yeah, I've been wanting to do 2600 stuff for a long time now. And Leo Ames actually gave me the idea to do the Flashback 2 since I have one. And so here we are doing some Flashback 2. So this is Asteroids Deluxe. And I have a feeling it's not going to like my... Nope. Can't play that one either. I think I've got a wild patchouli. I think I hear my cat. We've pretty much done everything in this category. So Arcade Favorites is done. Space Station. That's right. Aqua Venture, Akela. Hey, Miso Mama. Yeah, you mentioned the Game Boy Color version of Asteroids last week. I'm going to have to try that out sometime, see how it is. Let's try Dodge 'em. Oh, nice. It's a maze game. Could you get your stuff from your mom's basement? Or do you just not have room for it in your place? Alright, see you, Branch. Take care, dude. There is a Yar's Revenge Game Boy Color version, yeah. Alright, let's try this. What the freaking hell? This control's really weird. So what happens is at an intersection you have to hold up or down or left or right. What a weird game. Alright. Okay, so I can't go up that way. Dude, come on. This is actually kind of garbage that you have to race against an AI opponent on this. Because there are some instances where, like, you're just not going to be able to avoid them. Oh, well, that was my fault. Alright, try it again. See, like, right there. Come on! That was just BS. Total BS. I'm gonna get screwed again. Oh, you press the button to speed up. Okay, thanks, Mario. It's me, I'm Mario. Oh, crap, that didn't help. Greatest arcade hits on N64? I did, yes, along with Namco Museum. Those are good collections. They work really well on N64. Stexor's gonna sleep. Wow, early sleep for you. Alright, take it easy, Stexor. Oh, she's in New York. Oh, okay. No, why did I do that? I'm drifting way too far. Patchouli? Come here, Patchouli. 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 Come on, Patchouli. Come on, girl. There you go. There she is. It's actually almost time to feed her. Oh, Stexer's in the Netherlands. Okay. For some reason, I didn't know that. I thought you were USA. Too much hair. She wants to eat. This is why she's in here. This is why she's kind of perky right now. She's just very energetic. Oh, she just jumped down. Nice. We've been going for 2.5 hours. We're probably not going to go much longer because a lot of these games are just very short. But I'll try to do my best to keep going a little bit longer. It is You still have a half an hour, Patchouli. You still have a half an hour. I'm going to try to play for another half an hour at the very least. So. Alright, let's try this one more time. Hey, we finally beat a level. Yeah, speaking of tailless cats, there's actually a cat in my apartment complex that has this tiny, tiny stub for a tail. I was like, oh, that's adorable. I want that cat. Nah, it's got a collar on it and everything, so it definitely belongs to someone. Ooh, I didn't even see that guy there. Okay. One more time. Oh, jeez, No, I wish it was easier to turn. I keep turning too much. I screwed myself. Did who have a litter? My cat? My cat did not have a litter. And she could not have one, even if she wanted to. Oh! Damn it. Yeah, Mario, oh, man. I feel like this AI is just reading my inputs, and it's like, oh. Tufts of hair? No, she just sheds like crazy. She sheds like crazy. Okay, one last time. No. You have to turn super early. If you don't turn early, you're not turning at all. I tried turning, but it didn't register. Why are there gaps? Oh, you can break. Okay. That game's a little weird. It's a little hard to get used to. Caverns of Mars, one of the ones that we can play. I don't think we tried Saboteur yet. 1984. Then you play the game. Total crap. Oh, interesting. This is pretty cool. I dig this. Millipede is the sequel to Centipede, so yes. It is very... Whoa! Okay. I got killed by my own shot. Oh, this is interesting. I have to hit the objects down below, apparently. Oh, took a hit. Nice colorful visuals in this one. Did I get a game over? Gemini Man weapon. No, I didn't get a game over. We're still going. Here we go. Yeah, you gotta hit all those objects down below. Notice that it reflects my lasers off of it, and then hits the objects down below. Oh, took a hit. Man, this game will take it out of you. My arm is starting to hurt. Although I am at a different angle now because I'm using a different chair because my cat was in my gaming chair. Very trippy game, visually speaking. So many blinking lights. Oh. Oh, no. Got it. Nice. Oh, and I just skipped that next level. Interesting. Oh, I see what's going on. Those orange guys I'm supposed to save. Like those guys right there. I think? I think that's game. That is game. Music. Well, some music. Alright, that was Saboteur. That was actually the first time I played that. I have heard of this game, but I've never played it. And it's definitely pretty good. I'd say it's definitely one of the best games on here, honestly. What is my favorite map on Quake? I don't have a favorite map on Quake. Frog Pond. This has got to be a homebrew. Wow, it's not playing nice with my capture card. It's really interesting. Ugh. Alright, I might even just end the stream right now. There's not many other games to try. There's just some stuff I just don't even want to bother with, like Hangman, yeah! But this arcade stick is actually eating into my hands pretty badly right now. It's just actually becoming quite uncomfortable to use. Yeah, I don't have one of my CX40s out right now, so I think that's pretty much gonna do it. I mean, there are a couple of other games. Radar Lock. 1989. I remember seeing this game. This is definitely impressive. You remember E.T.? Yeah, many people do. Not included on this, unfortunately. We will play E.T. eventually. It's one of those games I wanted to learn and then do a Let's Play on. Just do a full playthrough. I mean, a full playthrough is like a minute. It'll be my shortest Let's Play ever. Yeah, Pitfall and Pitfall 2. We did play Pitfall 1 earlier. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do here. Am I supposed to, like, dock? I have no idea. Hey, Lord JP. Do a barrel roll. I can't. I'm trying. I think I'm running out of fuel. I feel like I'm supposed to dock, but I don't know how, so let's see what happens. It's one of the problems with playing these without manuals. Now, I know the Flashback 2 does come with a manual, but I don't know if it actually describes the controls or goals of each of these games. Yeah, it's neat. Let's switch off. PS4 Anthology had digital manuals. Yeah, the collections were really nice. What do you mean was kind of irritating? Just accessing the manuals was irritating? Beggars can't be choosers, Akella. Alright. Is Human Cannibal the one I'm thinking of? I don't... No, it's not. I actually do remember this. It's kind of like Scorched Earth. You set your angle. Yeah. I guess I have to try to get them in that bucket. No option to read as you get stuck in the... Oh, jeez. You guys. This is ouch. I mean, generally, 2600 games are so simplistic that you could just look at the manual and then you'll understand exactly what to do. And you won't have to look at it ever again. I'm obviously terrible at this game. Sword Quest series was tough. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't understand how Quake maps in the Doom engine would be a good thing. I mean, the combat would be completely different too. It would just kind of be like a Quake skin. You know, it's like there are mods out there for Wolfenstein 3D that take Doom maps and they try to recreate them in the Wolfenstein 3D engine, but it's like, why? So it's like, why bother making Quake maps in the Doom engine? I mean, cool. All right, no problem, Mark. Take care, dude. I guess you're heading out. I was going to shut off the stream, but now I'm just like, I should play every game. We've gone through most of them. Maze Craze. Uh-oh, there's Patchouli again. Come here, Patchouli. Come here. Oh, Jesus, cat. You know what? This is a good time to end the stream. You hungry? Yeah? You hungry? You want to eat? Do you want to eat, Patchouli? Good girl. Good girl, Patchouli. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it, guys. I wasn't planning on streaming that long today because of just the nature of these games. But what I'm thinking about doing is potentially streaming. I don't know if I'm going to stream again tomorrow. I do kind of want to stream Splatoon. Just get that out of the way so I don't have to worry about it anymore. But on Friday, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 comes out, and I'm thinking of doing a blind stream on that early on Friday. So, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to do the Friday stream. And as a result, I think I'm going to skip out on this week's Let's Play. No, stay here. Stay here. No, where are you going? Come here. Come here. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip out on this week's Let's Play and just basically delay it a week because I can publish my Curse of the Moon blind stream on Saturday in place of the Let's Play. That'll give me an extra week to practice because I got to practice for a few games. I'm out of Let's Plays right now. I don't know if I can crank one out in the next couple of days. I mean, I'm sure I could, but I don't know. I'd like to spend more time on it. Come here, Patchouli. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, Patchouli. Good girl. Well, yeah, I think that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. Had a decent turnout considering it was the 2600. Wasn't sure how many 2600 fans I have following me here. But I'll definitely be back doing more 2600 stuff soon-ish. We'll probably end up doing Stella. Either that or I'll do my actual 2600, and I've got the Harmony flash cartridge. And I have an AV modded console, so I'll go through the exact same setup that we're doing right now if I do that. But yeah, I'll have to think about it. I think the video quality was okay. At least on my monitor here, it was fine. So yeah, we might do an original 2600 next time I do this. I don't know. We'll see. It's all good, Crestline. You gotta live your life, man. Your life can't revolve around my streams, but I do appreciate it when you pop in. You just want to eat. You just want to eat. You want a goofball? You just want to eat. You just want to eat. What, do you want to come over here? You want to come over here? No? Okay. Alrighty, guys. That's going to do it for me. Watch out for streams in the next couple of days. Friday for sure. Without a doubt. Maybe tomorrow as well. Because Offices at Splatoon shouldn't take me very long to do the single player. Just like a couple hours. So... yeah, we'll see. Yeah, see ya, Serpent Sword. Take care. Later, Mario, Leon, Crestline, Miso, Mark, Lord JP, Akela. Looks like that's it. Office. That's all we had for the last half an hour or so. Nice. You gonna grab that too? Hell yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. My cat, man, I swear. Ugh. Ugh. What are you doing? Oh yeah, I was going to show you my joystick. That's the XRGB2 plus... there's the Flashback 2, and then this is the joystick I've been using. Patchouli? Patchouli. Probably be preferable to eat actual food, not your foot. Alrighty, guys.